meteorologist Lexi Birmingham with your First Alert Storm Team forecast.
Let's go ahead and start off with the tropics. Again, we're continuing to track Tropical Storm Debbie. So just to put everything into perspective, for the 6 o'clock hour, we did have max winds up to 50 miles per hour, but Debbie did intensify, and we are now seeing max winds up to 60 miles per hour. And that's pretty much what Debbie is going to do throughout the day today as it continues to trek up towards the north and northwest. In fact, it is still expected to strengthen to a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall along the Florida Big Bend region by Monday. After that, it is going to slow down, but there is still a little bit of uncertainty with what the storm will do post landfall, as steering currents on the upper levels of our atmosphere will begin to weaken. There's no word yet if it will continue inland and head up towards the north, or briefly come off the east coast and kind of see a little bit of some re-strengthening. Either way, areas in North Florida into Georgia and the Carolinas could see a threat for some major flooding. Anywhere from 10 to 15 inches of rainfall will be possible Monday into Tuesday. So here's a look at those tropical alerts. We do have hurricane warnings in place for most of the Big Bend region of Florida. Tropical storm warnings in place from Panama City all the way down to Tampa, Sarasota, Cape Coral, even into Key West, with some watches a little bit further inland that will get upgraded most likely to warnings over the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, we are not going to see any direct impacts from Tropical Storm Debbie, but we do have a small craft advisory in place starting at 10 p.m. tonight until Tuesday at 1 a.m. just because we could see those gusts out in the water up to 30 knots with seas at about 5 to 8 feet. Not to mention, too, with anything turning out in the Gulf of Mexico, that usually tends to increase our threat for rip currents. So we do have a moderate risk for Sunday and into the beginning of this week. And now Debbie's not the only thing we're watching now. We have a new area just off the coast of South America, and just outside of the Windward Islands with a low chance of development. So not an immediate threat to our stretch of the Gulf Coast, but certainly something we'll continue to watch. In the meantime, the sun is shining for our viewing area. Here's Dauphin Island Sea Lab from our Eastern Shore Toyota camera, and we are seeing some big blue skies over Pensacola International Airport. So if you have a flight this morning, you should not expect any delays, but it is warm out there. Most of us are waking up into the upper 70s this morning, with a few areas sitting in the 80s. Forecast highs for today, as expected, getting back up into the middle 90s for most, with lower 90s near that immediate coast. Of course, this is just actual air temperature. Heat index values are expected to be anywhere from 105 to 110 this afternoon. So no big surprise that a heat advisory once again is in place for almost the entire News 5 neighborhood from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. The only county left out for today is Okaloosa County. Looking at our radar right now, we just have a couple of showers and storms just offshore, but we are off to a dry start this morning. Still about a 40% chance, though, that you will need those Green and Phillips umbrellas. So looking at the forecast model, we are expected to stay dry throughout the rest of our morning, and then as we head into the afternoon, pop-up showers and storms will begin to develop, and that's pretty much what we will see through the afternoon and evening, and then everything will slowly wrap up for your Sunday night, and we'll keep scattered cloud cover around to start off your Monday morning. So looking at the rest of your forecast, the heat is going to be the big story, as rain chances will be dropping off anywhere from 10 to 20% by midweek. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is a high of 100 degrees possible for your Wednesday, not including that heat index value. Our only saving grace is that rain chances slowly go back up by Friday and Saturday, which will help out the temperatures just a little bit.